I want to share some wisdom on what I learned from a divorce. You know, we can either allow divorce to make us or we can allow it to break us. And we got to learn lessons through everything that we go through on our journey. What I learned from divorce was trusting God through the whole process of marriage, first starting in that single season. You got to trust Him in that single season. Because what I did was a previous marriage, I didn't consult God. I didn't seek God on was this the right man for me to marry. I didn't feel peace about it, but I did it anyway. That was my first mistake that I learned. And you got to learn from the things that you go through. We can't blame people, like blame this person because they treated you this way or that way. But the thing is, as a man or woman of God, did you seek God for a clear answer? Or did you go by your emotions or what you thought was the best thing for you? That's the number one thing that I learned. The wisdom from a divorce was seeking God and making Him part of the whole process, going through that single season with me, going through that marriage season, when things happen in the marriage, instead of taking it to God and consulting God, trying to handle it on my own. That's something that we all have to come to grips with. We can't handle things on our own. We got to include God because He's stronger than we are. You know, we'll act emotionally and we'll be all over the place. But when we have God in our life, He'll give us that self-control. He'll give us that sound mind. He'll have us so that we don't fear. Because sometime in our single season, we're fearful. We think that we're not going to get anybody. So we take this person that we know is not good for us. And we take that person from the single season and we marry that person. And not one time that we consult God. So that's what we have to do. We have to feel peace about a situation, peace about that person. And if you don't feel peace about it, I don't care if you're at the altar and you feel a little chaotic in your spirit, like something is not right. God is saying, no, don't do it. Then you don't do it. And God will speak to us. He speaks to us all the time during that single season. He'll let us know that, no, this is not it. But we disregard it because it's something that we want. So if you're single and you want to be married, include God in that single season. Be obedient to the Spirit of God. Look at the red flags. Take everything to God. And then when you get married, you don't leave God at the altar where you said, I do. God comes right along with you and He helps you be that man. He helps you be that wife. He helps you be that husband that He's ordained you to be. The reason so many marriages are failing today is because we're not including God. And I can say amen to that because that's what happened in my previous marriage. I did not include God in none of it. This is what I wanted. This was my plan. And by golly gee, my plan was going to work. My plan did not work because that wasn't God's perfect will for me. You want God's perfect will in your marriage. You don't want to just marry someone just to be marrying someone. You got to know and get an understanding of, okay, God, is this the person that you would have me to walk through life with? Then you got to have, excuse me, then you got to have some conversations with that person. You got to know that person. You got to know what you're getting to. You got to know if this is something that you're going to put up with. If that person is doing things that you are totally against during the single season, why would you marry that person? Because like most women think, I can change them. Most men think that too. They'll change after we get married. But what did God say? And that's the question. During divorce taught me a whole lot about myself. It taught me a whole lot about my obedience. It taught me a whole lot about surrendering to God. And it just taught me that in all things, seek Him. And if we seek Him, we're going to find Him. God is not going to withhold any answers from us. If we go to him and ask him, he's going to let us know. But a lot of us are too much in a hurry, so we're not waiting on God. We're asking, and the next day if we didn't get an answer, then we go with what we know. We don't need to go with what we know. We need to go with what God said, because he knows all things. He sees way out into the future, and he knows what's best for us. So while I was going through my divorce, it taught me, when you get into another marriage, which I am into now, it can be successful, and it is, because I'm letting God lead. So if any of you are in that season of singleness, you're going through a divorce, you're in a divorce now, and you're going through it, trust God. Trust the process. Learn something through it. It doesn't mean that your life is over, but that journey, that chapter is over that you're in. And God will open the door for another chapter if that is what you want to find, for him to bring love into your life. But it's all about obedience. Whatever life is all about, whatever you're going through, it's about obedience and doing what God said do. Because God has a expected end for all of us. So be encouraged today. Don't be discouraged because maybe you have a failed marriage, you went through a divorce. Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged, because God can work it out. And it's all in how you react to the situation. It can be worked out. Divorce is not the end. You learn the lesson, and then you go forward to be the woman of God, the man of God who he's called you to be. So I pray that this helps someone today. Those of you that are in limbo, don't know what to do, I say seek God. I say choose God. And God will see you through anything that's in front of you. So blessings, everyone. To God be the glory. He's a good God, and he's worthy to be praised. So seek him, and you shall find him. And he has all the answers for you. You don't have to be at a place where you don't know what to do. God is right there, and he's saying, I have the answer. Just ask me. I have the answer. So learn what you need to learn in your season, and then go forward. Amen. God bless.